Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. College football does not sleep. Jordan Addison officially entering the transfer portal. We previously this weekend made a video about it. It seemed like he was a lock to go to USC. People said it was going to be done by the weekend. He's now officially in the portal. However, he's not officially going to USC. There are a bunch of candidates out there before we get into it. Wanted to thank you guys for all the support. If you guys like talking college football, NFL draft, go subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the support. I feel like just yesterday I was thanking you guys for 500 subscribers. Now we're already past 900. You guys are absolutely goated for the support. Still, let's get into it. Jordan Addison coming in at a top 5 rank in the transfer portal rankings on 24/7 Sports. Potential landing spots. And then why do you think he's transferring in the first place?
Oh, he's transferring, I think, for sure because of draft stock, which is like really what matters. If he can elevate himself into that top 10,
yes,
that's where the money's to be had at the end of the day. Like NIL is great, but he won't make that much in NIL to sacrifice any position in the draft, I don't think.
I think it comes down to 3 things. 1, signing your name on an NFL contract with a top 15 pick. That's where you're going to make a lot of your money. However, the numbers you're seeing in NIL deals that he's being offered is
that
insane.
People are saying. Like,
and exactly. Twitter. You don't know the total truth about it, but you know that's a significant factor in why he's transferring. Pitt and Keaton Slovis obviously not doing it for him during spring practice. But second of all, Pitt doesn't have the financial backing to really give him those NIL deals. But the Blue Bloods, the Texas, the USC, and then you have a few sleepers too. They certainly do. So that's definitely a factor. But I think, first of all, what are some great fits from a NFL pros prospect that you're looking at here?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, for the pro prospect, it's probably Bama. Like how Bama ran last year was how receivers are going to get drafted, not running a zillion quick slants like Ole Miss but allowing their wide receivers to do everything, make plays, throw the ball a lot, and have an elite talent at quarterback. So that's probably, of the schools that seem like they're even in contention, that seems to be off the bat the first one that's like, and he'll be the number 1 guy. So
yes, that's a great starting point. 1, the money will be there, the financial backing will be there. And 2, they're losing a lot of guys, and they didn't necessarily bring in a ton of guys. And the J. Hall's gone now. Like there is a wide open spot. Jermaine Burton, I don't think is great. He's there, but I don't think.
Well, he's not close to Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison is the 3rd best wide receiver in the country, I think. And he goes to Alabama, where they have a phenomenal track record of getting wide receivers picked high and having success in the NFL. That certainly has to be up there. USC obviously has to be up there. That seemed to be the reason he was transferring in the first place. Caleb Williams is a great quarterback. Not as good as Bryce Young, but he's there.
He'll be the number 1, which helps.
Maybe, but
I think he'd be over Mario Williams.
But the thing, the chemistry you saw with Caleb Williams and Mario Williams during the spring game, like you don't know if he's going to get the lion's share. He might. And then I'm seeing Texas as well. Texas, he's certainly just going to – Jordan Addison is good. He's going to be the best wide receiver wherever he goes, unless he goes to, LSU with Keyshawn Butte or Ohio State. Probably the next best wide receiver in the country. But Texas is loaded. Xavier Worthy, Nair, now Ajayi Hall, Jordan Whittington, Jaleel Billings at tight end, and then obviously a trio of running backs who are really good. He's not really going to get the volume there. Are there any other dark horses that we haven't mentioned? We got USC, Texas, Bama. Who else needs a wide receiver, and what seems to be a good fit for him?
Nebraska. I mean,
haven't heard that one before.
They're a team that their boosters are engaged. They want to pay. Jordan Addison could reunite with his old offensive coordinator, Mark
Whipple.
Mark Whipple.
That's a good one.
And they have a quarterback in Casey Thompson, who you at least can be fairly confident in is going to make some plays, and he'll be the top dog. So it's like that's a school that seems like it kind of fits in the neighborhood of what he could want. Now, the downside is they haven't been very good for the last 5 years, and they were a losing team last year. I mean, I know they did retool it, so good for them, but that could be one factor. It's like, you still got to get over the hump.
And Mark Whipple was the OC there.
Addison had a year with Mark Whipple.
2 years, yeah. That's really interesting. I didn't think about that. I was thinking my dark horse would be Tennessee. I think Tennessee's shown that they have the bag to do it with the NIL deals. But also, like, Hendon Hooker is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. They're losing Velus Jones. I mean, Cedric Tillman's back, but outside of that, Brew McCoy is floating around there as well. But Jordan Addison comes in, and he's immediately the wide receiver one in an offense that is extremely explosive. I think that could be an interesting fit as well. And then you mentioned OU on the pre-show. That's also another interesting.
OU doesn't make sense to me just because it lines up. He'll be the top dog on a very good team, I think. In an offense that's probably going to want to pass the ball more this year, led by Jeff Levy. The problem with the way Jeff Levy plays offense, it's not exactly geared to pro-style wide receiver play, which Addison is. He's like a guy who runs his routes clean, and he's not like a catch a quick slant run 50 yards. Like, not that he can't do that, but there's more to his game. So maybe he doesn't want to play that
RPO head.
Jeff Levy, get the ball out your hand immediately and no reads, no routes, just do it that way. So
I think Georgia could be an interesting one too. You saw it, Jermaine. Now the thing with Georgia is it's enticing if you want to go win a national championship. You will be the top dog, but if Stetson
Georgia doesn't develop wideouts either.
But also like I think you want a quarterback that can make it happen. And Stetson Bennett, like if they continue on what they did last year to go win national championship, it's really a safe offense. They're not really going to air it out. They're not going to give Jordan Addison probably the targets he wants. One thing I would throw out is Ole Miss. We talked a lot about them in the spring. They need a wide receiver. Like that was like the one hole in this offense. They have a good offensive line. The quarterbacks they'll figure it out, hopefully, whether it's Dart or Luke Altmaier. But the biggest thing that jumped out at me is that they don't have a playmaker on the edge. And so
same concerns though for me are what you think with Jeff Levy at Oklahoma and just Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin hasn't made wide receivers good. They haven't. Yeah, that's the one. Even the guy they had, number 8, he's Elijah Moore. Like was good, but he wasn't. I don't think he was maximized at Ole Miss. I think he was still a second round pick later.
Yeah,
more of a slot guy to be thought of. So I don't think that's the concern with Ole Miss and the Lane Kiffin style is, are you going to develop into the guy you can be on the edge, which is what Jordan Addison should want. That's how he wants to get paid in the pros. That's how he wants to be thought of in the draft. And it's hard to see him doing that at Ole Miss to me.
And we've mentioned a lot of schools that have been aggressive in the portal. USC has been extremely aggressive. They might need to pull back because I'm hearing certain terms with the tampering. They might just want to wash their hands of the situation. But Ole Miss, that we mentioned, is extremely aggressive in the portal. LSU under Brian Kelly has been. I don't see that fit. It's a pretty deep wide receiver room with already an alpha in Keyshawn Butte. Alabama, I could certainly see being in the running. OU. South Carolina is an interesting spot. Maybe Spencer Rattler. They brought in Antoine Wells from JMU, but you would think that, again, wherever this kid goes, he's going to be the alpha.
It's less defined, though. I think these other schools were giving, have a track record at least of have a quarterback with a track record, except for really Ole Miss, who does not. But
and these other schools, like one
big
more
alpha dog quarterbacks.
I'm going to throw out one more team that I think might be in the running. That's going to be Ohio State. As much as it pains for me to say it, it is wide receiver.
Pro wideouts.
They just had 2 drafted in the top 15 on Thursday night. It's the only problem with that, and it's one of the most explosive professional offenses that is run. It's just there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. You already have Jackson Smith-Njigba, who might be one of the only wide receivers better than Jordan Addison in this group.
And I get that Addison's great, but you're even right. He's clearly not going to be the clear-cut number one. You even got to watch out for the next guys. Okay, we know Jordan Addison can play, but can Emeka Egbuka or Marvin Harrison Jr. take snaps from him? Certainly. I don't know that we know that Addison's that good that that you can't put the others on the field. So that to me, it's Ohio State produces the pros, but it does get tough because he's gonna have to be probably the number 2 at this point, and just so many guys are gonna catch passes.
All right, I'm gonna kick it to you to close out. You're Jordan Addison. You're a freak athlete. You could go literally anywhere you want, but you wanna improve your draft stock. Make sure you're trying to be a top 20, top 15 pick. 2 NIL deals. Where you going, Dill? Unfortunately, you are 5'9", very unathletic. But if you were athletic, where are you going?
I think the whole if you really just wanted to, I think get the whole package. It's Bama. You're probably going to be competing for a title. You're going to be the clear-cut number one with, arguably the best quarterback in the country. And my thing is I think the NIL is important, but I think all the big schools can kind of get to the point they need to get to get Jordan Addison the money he kind of wants. I just kind of get that. There's a difference between Pitt and USC, but is there that big of a difference between USC and Bama or USC and name any of these other premier blue blood schools? I'm guessing they all can pony it up.
I don't get how they offered him a beach house home, which is just
that's a lie.
I can't imagine. And this is for another episode talking about the NILs and how it's impacting football. But it seems like these boosters are going to learn that maybe paying so much money for a guy, not necessarily Jordan Addison, but these 18-year-old recruits who haven't played snap college football, maybe it's not worth all the money that they're pouring in.
Just peace on you in a year.
So I'm interested to see how all of that play. Yeah, like Quinn Ewers did at Ohio State. I think
people are freaking out personally. I think they're gonna figure it out where the guys are gonna get paid fairly.
Yes,
but it's not gonna be like the mafia or something crazy where it's big duffel bags of cash right to sign. And I think they're going to probably figure out some way to make it at least reasonable, but still allow people to get paid probably with something along what they're worth. So
you say Bama.
Yes.
I'm Jordan Addison. Now I'm even shorter than Dill, probably more athletic, but shorter than Dill. So I'm definitely not getting any offers anytime soon. But if I'm Jordan Addison, I can go anywhere I want in the country to help my draft stock to get my NIL bag. Looking at my list of teams that I put together.
I think you're putting way too much into the NIL side of it personally, but go ahead.
Oh, I don't think so. If the reports
compared to the draft and the NIL money, it's not that close.
Reports are even half accurate to the money that they're getting. You look at a guy like Justin Ross, who you never know when your last snap's going to be. I want to get my bag. I want to get my bag, but unfortunately,
we'll see.
All right. No, let me think. I have my three hats in front of me. I think I've narrowed down my choices to USC, probably, Tennessee, and Bama. And I might pick up that Tennessee hat. Josh Heupel might have enough ammo for me. Now, I'm playing a little devil's advocate because I think Bama is probably the best spot to go. But Josh Heupel, he's got that offense cooking. There's a lot of green. The way he runs his offense, there's a lot of space for your wide receivers to work in. Hendon Hooker showed he's one of the better quarterbacks in the country and in the SEC. Knoxville's a dope city. I think I might be going to Tennessee. Now, we're probably going to find out in the next couple of weeks where he goes, and we'll do another video kind of breaking that down. But this dude is going to change any offense he goes to. A legitimate, bona fide stud. Interested to see where he goes. What I'm asking you guys is let us know where you're going if you're Jordan Addison. Let us know in the comment section. We appreciate you guys rocking with the Rock Boys, checking out the video. NIL, the transfer portal, it's changing the game a little bit, as much as Dill likes to say it isn't. It's going to be interesting.
It obviously is, but you're acting like it's the end all be all.
No.
Yeah, you are.
We could bicker for hours on this. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Let us know where Jordan Addison is going in the comment section, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.